Okay, so I'm not going to be continuing my previous playthrough where I started over, just because I want to do this and show you guys how to do. This is like a tutorial, so I want you guys to know how to play the game. But if you want to learn how to play the game, I'm sure that you don't want to be spoiled. And if I do a full or the gameplay that I was doing and not skip anything, it would obviously spoil you guys, at least the beginning. So this is my current playthrough. I did get a haircut. I prefer this hairstyle for Geralt actually. So you could get a few. I'll probably show you guys, but this is my favorite. Okay, in this little tutorial, I wanted to show you guys how to make potions and stuff like that. So what you want to do is, to make potions, you have to go into meditate, which is this is the Xbox 360 version. So you press LB, and the middle button is the meditate. It says meditation at the bottom. So that one right there, you press that. And you're going to want to, if you're going to make the potion, now before you do this, if you already know what potions you want to take, like let's say you're like, okay, I want to take this potion for poison resistance and this potion for damage, like extra damage. If you know the names of the potions, which you will eventually start learning, you want to know if you have any already in your potions list. Like these are the ones that I have right now. So let's say that I want to take swallow, and I'm like, well, do I already have it or not? So you always have to check if you have, or you don't have to, but it's useful if you already know if you have it or not, because you might just be making it and you already had it. So if you have it, just drink it, but if you don't, then you have to make it. So let's go and make a potion that I don't have. So you're gonna go into Alchemy, and this is where it could get kind of confusing for some people. Some people are like, what? I don't get it. Each potion has different ways of making it. There's not just one way. And that's what I think some people think, is that there's only one way to make the potion. But it's not, because if you look at any of these, let's say the one that makes a lot of sense just by looking at it, and for another reason, is this one, Mongoose. You press A to inspect it, so you know what potions you need. Like this one is the best anti-poison potions. It's plus 20,000%. I'll go into the whole toxicity thing in a little bit. But see, the basic substances is, see how it doesn't say a specific ingredient? It just says Rebus, Aether, and Fulgur. These are these are categories of the ingredients. So for example, that's where we go up to the top right hand corner where it says Fulgur and has a list, and then those little circles. These are all you could change with your LB and RB buttons. This little circle is the vitriol, and then like that, right? So for this, we know that for this potion you need Fulgur, the category Fulgur, at least one substance in the Fulgur. Right now, what's selected in the Fulgur category is this ingredient that you have to find on a quest, and this ingredient I believe you could use later on in a quest. So if you use it on this particular potion, for the mission that you need this for, the big mission is the Kairin mission. I won't go into detail about that, but you need to find this ingredient called Osmirk, which is the particular Fulgur ingredient, to make this potion. But you don't need Osmirk to make this potion, and I'll show you why. Over here in Fulgur, you could use any of these ingredients to make the Mongoose potion. So right now I have, if you look in the middle, I have some little flower, a mushroom, and then that little potion right there, or that little liquid. That little liquid is Osmirk. But if you don't want to use it, if you're like, you know what, this is a quest item that it took me a while to get, and I don't want to use it, I might need it later or something like that, because I believe you might need it later for something else. So the actual Osmirk ingredient. So I was like, I'm just gonna save it, and I'm gonna use one of these other things, like let's say the essence of death or the Endriga embryo. You get these. These are the Fulgur are kind of rare drop. They're not rare drops as in they hardly ever drop, but I mean like you don't get many chances to get them. Sometimes some of the monsters will drop, let's say an Endriga embryo, but not always. But when you do get them, you do get quite a few of them. So I'm just like, okay, I don't want to use Osmerk. I want to use, let's say, an Endriga embryo instead. So you just click on it, see there's Osmerk right there, and you get to save it. So you could use any of these Fulgur ingredients to replace it. I hope that makes sense. And the same goes for, what else did you need? So you need a Fulgur and Rebus, yes. So let's go to Rebus. And Rebus, the only ingredient that I have for Rebus is that little flower. So I don't have anything else to use, so I'm just like, oh well, you know, I have to use that. And that's okay because I believe that flower is very common. You find it everywhere, so that there's no worry there. The ones that are blacked out are the ones that you don't have anything of. Except for let's say if like that little flower, it's right there. It's not in your ingredients. But if I were to take that flower off, it's going to show up there. And the other one was, I think it was Aether, right? Yeah, it was Aether. And Aether is that the only mushroom, the little mushroom thing that I have there. That's the only ingredient that I have for Aether. So that's how you do it. So again, you don't need to use specific ingredients. All you have to do is specific categories. So what, like again, like say this where I have a bunch of, or like say this one. If you don't know which one to use the one that's most common, like Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane is very common, and usually, before you even start choosing which one you want to do, the computer will automatically put the ingredients that are most common, except for this one, in this case where it's putting Osmerk into that little slot, because technically that's what the quest says. It says use Osmerk to make Mongoose, so it's automatically putting Osmerk in there, but you don't need it. You don't need to use Osmerk in order to make the potion, and it doesn't change the quality of the potion at all if you use different ingredients. So that's how you do that, and then you just press Y to create it. So let me create this. Let's just create this. So the whole choosing the ingredient where you're like, oh, I don't want to use this, I'll choose that. You don't have to do that. Like, you don't ever have to do that unless you really don't want to use the item. Like in this case, where you're just like, I don't want to use this item. Go into that Fulgur and change the item, and then you're just like, okay, bam. But any other one, you could go ahead and do it. So let me make Rook. So that's ready to make. Just push Y to create, and then you can create as many as you want, or as many as you can given your ingredients. So I'll make one. Made one Rook, and I already have Cat, but let's say I wanted Cat. I create Cat, and I made it. And then you go to drink potions. So let's say Cat. What it does is it helps you see in the dark. You could take it and everything looks in black and white. And the thing about Cat is that it has to be really dark in order for it to be useful, because if it's not very dark, if it's just like, if you're just kind of, if it's, say it's already getting dark outside, like the sun's going down but it's not extremely dark, and you use it, it's gonna look really weird. Like, it's just gonna look like black and white, and it's gonna be kind of annoying. For example, I took it once, because you could also see through walls with Cat. and that was the reason why I wanted to use it, so that I could see the guards that were walking around. I wanted to do like this stealth thing, and I needed to know where the guards were. So I took Cat, but it wasn't very dark outside, and it just made things a little bit harder for me, because I was just like, what? I couldn't really tell what was what. It doesn't look bad, but it just looks like very bright, because it's making you see in dark. So I hardly ever use Cat, but let's say you would want to use Cat. Each potion has its amount of toxicity, which is what I was showing you over here. It doesn't show you the toxicity here. It just shows you technically what it does on the bottom. Some of them don't. That's the problem. It doesn't show what it is. You kind of have to go into this screen already knowing what the potions do. So when you don't know, you want to go into your inventory and check the actual potions. Go to potions, and then let's see, Rook. You press A just to look at it, because you can't drink potions from this menu, so you just press A. It gives you 25 toxicity, and usually Geralt can only withstand about 3 potions at the same time, and without getting poisoned. So the toxicity, because he's a Witcher, he's immune, or to a certain degree, to toxic levels, so he could withstand a good amount of toxicity until he's poisoned. So usually that's about 3 potions that he could withstand without getting poisoned. So this one gives you 25 toxicity, and Cat gives you 25 also. Swallow 25. The ones that really boost up a lot of, like, say this one, Lapwing, this one gives you a lot of stuff, but it also has its downfalls, like its benefits and then its downfalls. See how it says minus 30% vitality, minus 30% bleeding, so it makes you more prone to bleeding and more prone to incineration and all that. But I'll show you how to try to change that. In certain occasions you can do that. You could a combination of potions to kind of minimize that. But the potions that do more and that are a little bit stronger give you more toxicity. So this one gives you 40 toxicity. But let's just do the Cat and the Rook. We'll go back in here, drink potions, and we'll put Rook onto that little circle there. So just press A, add potion. There you go. See the bottom where the little skeleton is, or the little crossbone, or the skull is? That's your toxicity level. And then we'll do... Okay, so we've got Rook. Now what Rook does is Rook... Actually, let me change this. You can take it off. Just go into... Just push your way out to the circle. Let me put Cat first. Add potion. Cat is... it has... See, minus, if you look on the bottom where it says magical Cat, weight, orange, and then damage minus 10%, it allows you to see in the dark, but it takes away 10% of your damage. So I'm like, shoot. Okay, put it. Rook is damage plus 10%. So if you are in a situation where you can't afford losing minus 10% of your damage, you want to combine these 2 potions. So that's what you want to do. A lot of times with potions is to look at what they do, so that you might be able to pretty much take Cat without the minus 10% of the damage and still see it dark. So you take Rook, and you no longer have that minus 10% of damage, because you combine these 2, and then you just push drink, and it's kind of pointless for me to do it right now because it's in the midday, so it's not going to look very good, and I don't want to exit out and then load again. So I'm gonna take this off. So that's how you use potions. I hope that wasn't too confusing. It could be confusing in the beginning, but hopefully that kind of makes sense. It's not hard as long as you know what potions you want to make, as long as you know what potions you have, and as long as you really keep an eye on what the potions do, and you want to try to always get diagrams and formulas. These are how you make the potions, because you could go ahead and just buy the potion, but they're expensive. Some of them could be very expensive, and if you already have the diagram or the formula, it's cheaper because you make the potion yourself, and all you needed to do was just you should always be harvesting everything you see, like all the little flowers and all that you see outside. You should always be picking those up. They don't weigh anything, and that's how you make your potions. And then sometimes some ingredients are dropped from monsters, but usually they're like little flowers and stuff like that you find. So you want to always get formulas and diagrams. Let's say wolf. Now all these formulas and diagrams aren't only potions. A lot of them are also enhancements or traps. You can make enhancements, traps. Actually, the traps you have to make. You have to have a craftsman make your traps. But if you have the diagram and all that, and you know what you need, you just take that stuff to the craftsman, and they'll go ahead and make it for you. But you could make bombs, poisons, and potions and enhancements. If you don't have the formula, or if you don't have the diagram, you don't know what you need for it. So you want to try to get them all, so that you can make these things and not have to buy them. And then a lot of times the potion costs more than the actual diagram of that potion. So if you want to make a certain potion, you always want to look for the diagram or the formula first, because if you could find it, if you could buy the potion or the diagram or the formula, it's going to be a lot cheaper than actually buying the potion. I think the hardest part about this, about all this, is how do you know what to take? Like, where you're just like, okay, I'm gonna go in to this battle right now, and what do I even take? Well, it all depends on what you want to always be. This game is a lot about, like I said in the beginning, preparation. You should always look at the formulas and the diagrams that you have, and just see what they do. Like for the potions. And for everything else, but for potions, you want to know what you have and what they do and all that, so that when you're going to go into a battle and you need plus, you need more damage for your sword, or you need some kind of protection over poison, you want to make that potion. You're just like, okay, this creature is going to poison me. And the truth about it all is you're gonna have to die sometimes to realize, if you don't have the strategy guide, or if you don't have any types of outside sources, you are sometimes gonna have to die, or really try to put up with it to find out what the creatures do, because you don't always go into a battle knowing that the creature is poisonous. Usually a lot of the insect or arachnid types of creatures are poisonous, so you always want to try to have that potion ready. And not just mongoose, but mongoose is the ultimate one. There's another one that also does like 75% resistance to poison. I forgot which one it is, but so it's not just the mongoose one. And the mongoose one is since the ingredients are a little bit harder to find for the mongoose one, that one you want to always use it for big creatures, like say the Karen. The Karen, it does massive poisoning, so you want to use it for that. You don't want to use it for any little Endriga that you fight, like just some Endriga that like it's like a spider type of thing that you bump into the forest. You don't want to use mongoose all the time. And a lot of times the Endriga dies really fast after you hit it. You can hit it like for maybe three times and it's dead, and you just wasted a potion. So you want to try to use those big potions for big creatures that you know that you need a lot of protection of, and that you're probably going to be fighting it for a while. But a lot of times, like I said, you have to die in order to realize what that creature does, and also to find out how it how it attacks, like what its moves are, what it's gonna do. You know, kind of like the Karen is the best example that I have right now. Is the Karen, because I had to die a lot of times fighting the Karen because I didn't know exactly what it was gonna be doing. Or how it was going to be reacting. So once you get that down, you're just like, bam, I know how to kill this thing. And this screen, in that screen, it's not just in Alchemy, you don't just make potions, you could also make some bombs, like this bomb. So there's a lot of things that you can make besides just potions, but in this case, it's just bombs and potions, or some enhancements, like these little, you could see how the picture in the middle changes. The ones that look like that, like a flask, it's a potion. The ones that's a bomb, that's a bomb, obviously. And then those are the enhancements for your swords. So yeah, that's pretty much it for potions and for alchemy, really. So hopefully that made sense. And next time I will be talking about, I might do one where I show you how to kill the Karen, because the Karen could be kind of hard, and showing you about leveling up and the smart thing to do when keeping that in mind, because you really should keep that in mind early on, because you could be wasting a lot of level up points in areas that you might not need. Oh, I didn't mention, I forgot to say this, but when I was talking about how you might have to die with a lot of creatures, you don't, if you buy books, and I know a lot of people don't like to buy the books, but they do help. If you buy books on certain creatures, you earn abilities, and you also earn knowledge about it. So you go in here, you read the book first. You just have to push A on the book and you equip it. Let me show you. Go to books, and then if you push A, you just go use or equip, and then the little blurb will come up. That's it. Go back, and then go into your attributes, which is press Y on this menu, and then LB or RB to go to the knowledge, and there are the knowledge that you have read on for creatures, and then it gives you this huge thing about the creature, so you know whether a monster is poisonous or what it does and what it's weak against and what you shouldn't do against it. Like say the Karen, it says don't use regular traps. The Karen laughs at poisons and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned for my next tutorials. I might be doing like a 10-parter, like I said, for this series, so hopefully these are useful. Let me know in the comments if there's anything particular that you want me to talk about. Now remember, I'm not deep into the game. Like I'm almost done with chapter 1. I'm not even done with chapter 1, but I know the gist of all the controls and how to play the game. So if you guys want to know anything about that, the technicalities when it comes to the gameplay, just let me know in the comments, and I will try to make a video about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll talk to you guys later.